And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Terra Invicta. We got a lot of things coming together at this point. We're actively building 28 mission control worth of ships. We got HABs that will consume another 6 mission control. I think we're going to approach the point fairly quickly, where we enter into what is effectively total war with the aliens. We have a bunch of ships being built. We got a bunch of battle cruisers around Mars being built. I think we have some... Or did I build them already around? No, it's probably Mars that I'm not building them at. Yeah, we're building battle cruisers at Mars to replace the, frankly, probably obsolete fleet we have out at Mars. We got a damaged and repairing fleet at Earth. We've already got a fleet. I think basically what we're building at Mars is actually one of these fleets. We probably want to build another one of these fleets also at Venus. Once our Venus shipyards are complete. In the meantime, we're working forward with technology. We have cyborging coming up, which is going to give us one last infusion of augments for our counselors. I think there's the pheromone one as well that we can get, or parasite one we can pick up as well. We're also going to want to get either space medicine or space tourism going, so we can start making some money in space to offset the fact that our space resources, or space upkeep is basically going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And as we get bigger, it's going to become harder and harder to meet it with just Earth demands. Looks like we got some missions pre-assigned here from the end of last stream. So it should be just good to go here with a confirm and let some time pass. Once we've got the 3 fleets built, we're probably going to intentionally start to try to trigger total war, primarily just by building up stuff. Okay, so the servants are stealing our Poseidon Lantern. We're not really worried about servants stealing from us. We're more worried about them doing damage to our research. Polar Vortex. We're going to do what we can to mitigate the damage. Instead of major, we get limited, and we gain in public benefits tourism cost. More HABs complete, of course. More costs go with that. There's our cyborging. So this is also a cybernetic implantment. This is Parasite Emitter. This is... I think this is the Persuasion one. So let's go ahead and research that next. Yeah.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
The people will come to our side.
Well, it's probably enough in Canada. We were boosting Canada, I think, because we had one of the points cracked down. Region decolonized. No longer considered a colony because we've raised the economy enough there. Okay. Or, I think in this case, we've welfared enough to do it as well. Welfare unity enough to do it, so that worked.
Score 1 for the good guys.
Alien assault mission, success. Probably do a repeat. Continue. There's our neutronium spiker. That's one way to accelerate the effectiveness of our fission drives. Like the Poseidon torch. I may want to grab the coil gun batteries at some point. I think this affects the point defense. Might not rush to that. Let's, yeah, space medical sensor we probably want. So this costs boost, but this generates money, notably. So it turns 1.5 boost into 60 money, and is otherwise fairly cheap. Although that will mean that we need to start making more boost.
We have found something.
Okay, so we know there's an alien somewhere in India. And we may be at the point in the part of the game where we probably do want to start killing the aliens on Earth. If for no other reason to... Well, we're at the point where we don't think the aliens are going to be ever get back to calm again, right? So, time to deal with them.
Headed there now.
Standing by.
Okay, you have some command. We'll probably send you... Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So I'll tell you an asset. Mexico.
We're going in.
Where do you need me?
This is my sort of jack of all trade guy. Can we get you reasonably improving in Russia? Yeah.
Making our case.
I think the next big nation we're going to move into is Russia, as we sort of take advantage of neighboring bonuses coming out of China here. So I'll complete pretty quickly. That's a little bit longer, but that's still going to be this year. Any orgs that I should be interested in? Probably not. Have to be a pretty good org to be taking over anywhere. MI5 is a little bit tempting. We're not in the UK. Looking at the cartels, because we didn't have a very good criminal at the beginning, so we probably passed all on good criminal works. Yeah, most of these are not worth grabbing, at least not this late. Anyway, we now, if we had money, and we don't necessarily have a lot of money, we could definitely go ahead and start stacking a bunch of stuff. We probably will never grab the 4-brain stimulator. +3 loyalty, +3 parent loyalty. We're not going to modify the command science down. Espionage, admin, investigate, security, science, and command. This is 2k each. It does replace the previous one. It's only +1. We need to sort out how to get money quicker for that to be a viable thing to be grabbing. This guy is one of my quick learners, not striver. Striver would be even better. Probably want to grab espionage on it and make him a little bit harder to find. You're saving up for untouchable, which is 150. It's 20 to raise you. It's going to be 20 to raise you too, so I can raise you. Probably espionage here. Again, to make him a little bit harder to be found. And then it's all the way around. Okay. Yeah. Once we've raised opinion enough for our faction in Russia, we'll try to start picking spots off in Russia.
Offering support.
There's our Space Medical Center. This is a restriction that it needs a system with 50,000 people in it. Right now, that is only the Earth-Luna system, although the entire system works, so it doesn't necessarily need to be low Earth orbit, although it has to not be in irradiated locations. So this means this can be Earth, this can mean Moon. Later on, we'll probably grow other systems large enough, although the fact that it has to not be irradiated is precluding Mercury and Venus. So this is going to be something we need in basically the Earth system initially. But yeah, 60 money a month, as you can sort of see here. For every 120 crew, we need 1 money a month in upkeep. This is 60, so this can support 60 times that. Basically for us, at the cost of 30 power, which is like a solar panel, and 1.5 boost. And that's monthly boost, right? So that's not all that much boost. We're getting, to be fair, our income isn't that high because we have a pretty high expense, right? Our monthly income right now is only 1.8. Oh, so we could support one of these. And that would be a decent source of money. We're not going to go rushing to build one of those right away. I just wanted that tech so that we know we can build it when we need to. The other one to do for similar reasons, maybe don't have that one researched. Usually don't select that one. Is the space tourism one. It's pretty cheap. I don't think I put it as a favorite, so it's probably not been researched. Or maybe I did favorite it and I'm not seeing it. Oh, and the broadcast outlets aren't too bad. That's providing some money. This isn't providing a boost, so this would actually make sense to probably be built at some point. Although this one's mostly for influence, and if we build this in Earth orbit, public campaign. So in fact, I think I want to I think this is the tier 1. Right, so it might be worth researching this so that we can get the improvements on this. So let's grab that one and get that in there for you for research. Servant fleet launching for Collinwood Station. Collinwood Station. So let's get one of our fleets to respond to that. You're in repair until the 27th of February, so it will have to be the other fleet. They should be able to arrive well in time. So going to Collinwood. Arrive in 0.066 seconds. They arrived 23rd of January. We can probably delay a little bit. To reduce the burn time. Yeah, regardless of how we're burning, we get there well before them. This is maybe not the cheapest engines to be running, but we can get there. So we'll do a transfer. That'll put them there before they get there in theory. Our fleet arrives, resupplies, and is awaiting them.
Public opinion is moving in our direction.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
And of course, we're engaging. Both fleets are willing to fight. I don't know why the servants are willing to fight that fleet. They're about to have a very bad day. High wall formation. Coming at full speed. So we're facing a battle cruiser, a monitor, and a gunship. This is the Liberty fleet. So this is the new ships. So we got a heavy siege coiler on the battle cruisers. The Liberty, the Indefatigables are carrying green arc lasers. So let's task 2 Indefatigables to deal with the monitor. The other 2 to deal with the gunship. And we'll take all the battle cruisers, or all the Liberties, to fire at the battle cruiser. And arguably, this should be a fairly easy fight. And then heading-wise, lock on target. Let some time pass. Now, I believe these cannons have a range 950 kilometers. So as soon as we close that distance, they'll open fire. And we should see the little ones very rapidly evaporate. Here goes the siege coilers opening fire. Because the siege coilers have a slightly longer range than... Well, the siege coilers have a range that they fire when their enemy would cross the firing range, right? When the round hits there, so they fire a little bit earlier. There's the lasers opening fire. You're seeing that monitor get torn up pretty quickly by the lasers. We see our point defense doing a reasonably good defensive job. Okay, so the laser ships have already rendered those two smaller ships dead in the water. Siege coiler rounds outbound, closing closer and closer. There's quite a bit of flak coming up. The 40mm is surprisingly effective flak. And I think that's what we're trying to shoot our siege coilers down. Lasers have already eliminated the smaller of the two ships. And then the big one. Redirect all fire at the main target. Lasers are already tickling. I had that one and siege coilers got through. Enemy ship is dead in the water at this point. Just a moment of how long does it take for effective fire to destroy it? There it goes. Now, one big advantage the fleet that we just fought actually had over the aliens is they're actually rocking a little bit better point defense. The 40mm is really good point defense at the slight cost that it's has an ammunition capacity. The aliens tend to run stuff that doesn't run out of ammunition. We are, of course, going to do resupply at the station we're at. 16 hours, we'll be ready to go again. Which, of course, doesn't take the fleet very long to get to. And then go rise back up to medium orbit. Take your time getting up there. We're in no rush. Servant fleet launches for Fletcher Station. Okay, so the servants are having a not liking what we're doing, apparently. Doesn't surprise me. Okay, so we want you to set out for Fletcher to defend Fletcher. Fletcher. Where is Fletcher? Targeting Fletcher Station. Apparently it's supposed to be arriving real quick. Not the station we're at. Different system? Oh, well, maybe it is. Maybe it's Mercury. No, that doesn't make sense. Gotta be... So it could be the moon. Fletcher, medium lunar orbit. I don't actually care if they blow that up. They can blow that up. I'm not even gonna respond to that. They can blow that up. There you go. You can have that. I didn't need that station anymore. Japan is ally asking. No, we're not going to come to work for you. Sorry. Same. Broadcast outlet. So eventually we'll get the follow-up, which will be the Tier 2 version of the broadcast outlet. Again, pretty much going to be restricted to Earth orbit for the near future. Increased control point management. Yeah, as we're going to move into Russia, we probably do want that. Is there any military techs I want right now? We don't need the exotic stuff. The resource that I would want is, of course, the one we don't have the project for right now, which is the volatiles. Could you do the energy in the power plant? Thinking about it, let's do the power plant. We'll get that queued up. Fleet launches for low Mars orbit. We do have a fleet in low Mars orbit. The concern I might have here, and really there's nothing I can do about it, is that the Martian fleet So they're going to blow the space station up. Where we're building our battle cruisers. The battle cruisers will be ready in 200 days. Yeah. So if they blow the station up, that's an issue. It'll be a setback. But we're just gonna have to continue here and wait for them
Target
to do that
secured.
thing. We're gonna do a repeat. I want to see how much have we depleted the zone. The aliens here. Still heavy. Keep doing it. Yeah.
Target secured.
The human brain can store the equivalent of 2.5 petabytes of information, or enough to record 3 million hours of TV. But what if we became able to watch those shows at 1,000 times the speed? Then our brains would seem like a mere floppy disk. Chancellor Li Qingzhao, Engineering Humanity.
Economy. Talking about science. Okay, so yeah, we don't have the tourist booth because we haven't researched that one yet. Not sure if I want to take the delay to do that. We do probably want phased arrays. This required the prerequisite that we just researched. There's a bunch of techs I want. That's kind of the problem. We got so many techs I want. Plasma weapons are still working on the requirement for that. Okay. So yeah, probably phased array, lasers. Although, maybe I shouldn't do phased array lasers. Because these are going to be all the green UV ones, or little UV ones. I probably actually want the ultraviolet rather. The one that we'd be using immediately from here is actually the defense turrets. Yeah. Okay, so we're probably going to do ultraviolet combat lasers. Get the ultraviolets as the laser upgrade. After colony halves, we're going to do the other tier 3 hab. Magnetic plasma confinement is... I don't remember if I had this choice. Someone else might have taken this one for me. It's fine if they did. Again, probably not the one we really wanted. Oh no, I picked that up because we wanted to do a plasma. That makes sense. So we'll probably do plasma. Or maybe I'll leave that. I'll pick something besides plasma and we'll do plasma after the other military one. Plasma we want potentially go with UV guns or UV lasers for late game ships. So we do want this, we're not going to rush for it. And then we're obviously looking into the fusions. What we probably want to do is the inertial confinement fusion. We actually have all the techs for inertial confinement fusion, so we can probably start working down the line for that. Although I probably do want to do heavy pulse propulsion first. For the HRN drives, which will probably be my lower fissile drive for defense if we start running into problems with going through the fissiles. And then we'll do inertial confinement as our in-game drive. When it comes to the fusion and the antimatter, there's like one drive from each tree that is really good. The inertial confinement's probably a little too powerful, but as was the case with all the trees, there's one that's really good in each of the trees that is sort of viable. So inertial confinement is probably the most expensive tech-wise, but it also has the best. And then all the other ones are just a little bit below that, but they're maybe a little bit cheaper. And then we'll start working on the other supporting techs we need to make the inertial confinement work. Yeah. So yeah, you'll be heavy pulse propulsion, I think, when you're done. Which is that one. Got everything done for it. Cool.
Recon complete.
More space defenses done in Los Angeles. America's probably one of the places I don't need to be worried too much about perfect. when it comes to getting all the space defenses done, because you're going to be merging things into America. The other way around is I probably want things to be done in the places we're going to merge into it, right? So we probably want all the space defenses complete, say, in the Caribbean states before we merge the Caribbeans in. Of course, they are already. So here we're just trying to improve the Caribbean states. And the Caribbeans, I think, get merged in on the second tech. Canada's the first one they get merged in. Mexico, Caribbean, and I don't remember. I think there's a few more in here that get merged in the islands here. But they all get merged in on the second one for the United States. We probably do want to start investing more in boost eventually. Let's see what the bonus is. We got a pretty big bonus to boost, so. Here we've got space defenses in 2? 1. 1 of 6. Versus... to be fair, the difficulty in making it is based on the coverage, right? So Caribbean states are really tiny states, so building up surface orbital defenses in them are really cheap. And then America just has a lot of investment points. So America has managed to do 3. Washington, Chicago, and Los Angeles are protected from bombardment. When do these bases finish their dockyards? 6th of February. So this cycle, we'll be starting to build ships out at Mercury as resources allow. That's going to be the complicating factor. Oh, I gotta remember, I'm only paying for the ones that are actively in construction. So I've already paid for the 4 that are being built. I haven't actually paid for the indefatigables over here yet.
Ready for orders.
Which is good, because I think they've got a fleet on the way out to Low Mars, which may take out our station. If it takes out our station, then we lose those. Lose what's in construction. Do I want you to do persuasion, or do I want you to do alien clearing? Probably want you to do persuasion. Unless we are at the magical point. No, we want to go a little more than that. Public campaign then.
We must persuade the people.
Where to?
And now you have 8 command, and a lot less persuasion, so you probably want to keep targeting guys. You have a low enough command, you want to be picking the highest success chance.
Heading to the LC.
That's in
Standing by for orders.
contrast to this guy who has maximum command, who wants to be picking the highest. Although, usually what I'm doing with this guy is I'm trying to bring it down from severe to, like, light, so that the easier guy, the guy that's got lower skill, can finish it up. Or at least that's what I'm trying right now. We'll see how well that works. We're mainly dealing with the xenoforms to prevent the kaijus from spawning. Working on space defenses here. Let's move to some of the smaller regions if it's 52.4. A lot of the American regions are pretty large. Though, I suppose this could be... we could be working on Boston. That would make sense. Boston's pretty small. Or Hawaii. Hawaii is pretty small as well. So I'd expect Hawaii to maybe be lower than that. Let's start coming hard and move some time. Okay, so there's our batch of shipyards. So we now have 8 different places to build warships in Mercury orbit. Let's get construction queued. It is going to be gated behind our volatile production. So the plan right now is indefatigables, the green laser cannon, and the other battle cruiser, which is the Liberty. Or we could do this set. Um, I think it's a different engine. I think these are running the old Rhine drives. Let me check my ship classes before I start building things and build the wrong one. Yeah, so our newest, fanciest ones are Liberties and Indefatigables, I believe. I had the Alps thinking, but it's a little bit short. The Adamant. So Liberty, it's Poseidon. What are the Adamants? I could run the Adamants as well. It wouldn't be too much of an issue, I think. Interesting. Why are the Adamants more expensive? Oh, the Adamants are the interplanetary ones. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, so we want to run a Indefatigable and Liberty. Indefatigable, I believe, is the laser one. Whereas the Liberty is the siege coil. Okay, let's hide the older ones here for the moment. So these are going to get the up-to-date engines. We want a Liberty 6, Indefatigable 3. So Liberty 6, Q4 of those, and then Indefatigable Block 3s, 4 of those. So we're probably going to get 3 Liberties, or no, we're going to get 2 of the Liberties done, then it's probably going to build all the Indefatigables next, because they're going to have the lower volatile cost, but they're in the queue. We'll see how long it takes for them to build. That's going to add another 24 mission control to our space requirements. Getting a little bit tight on the space requirements. In fact, we're predicting to go over at the moment, but I have a suspicion we're going to lose some ships. It's a suspicion.
We're winning their hearts and minds.
The people will come to our side.
We've moved the needle.
Advanced laser engine, we do want to probably research that. It's going to make the laser ships more lethal.
By the numbers.
Repeat, take me there. Still heavy, so keep going.
Target remains operational.
You failed your roll, so repeat. That happens with the 80%. And it'd be even worse if I picked, like, Severe with that person. So, this may be an argument with that person we should get more command. Victor Fleet, 299 has arrived at low Earth orbit. And don't appear to be doing anything, which is fine. We don't need to just blow up their fleets for no good reason. We blow them up for reasons. Like surveillance. So Victor 343 is surveilling. We probably want to stop them before June 8th, but we can probably wait until like the end of March. No point in generating extra hate that we don't need. Public campaign increase in arrest. Interesting. That one's actually tempting just because of the missions that it's providing. Though if everything's going well, I probably don't need to increase in arrest. Let's assume that stays that way. Okay, nothing we need to change as counselors. You are launching for Saladin Station. So we should send... They won't be ready to be sent, so we'll have to send the bigger fleet to Saladin Station. We do want to prevent our stations from being destroyed. One is their arrival time. They are expected to arrive today in 3 hours. Fair enough. Almost 4 hours. So we could delay. Not that much. So we want to delay like that amount. Okay, that saves us most of our Delta V. We still get there first. And they arrive as well. We will accept the engagement. I don't feel the need to engage if they don't want to. They are willing to engage. So we're having a battle. This is going to be the first test in practice of the effectiveness of our large fleet. Given the circumstances, I am not going to accelerate towards them. We're just going to stay stationary, open fire from a distance. This will lower the effectiveness of the siege coilers. On the other hand, it will give the lasers more time to do their work. We are facing 3 cruisers, 4 monitors, and a corvette. So the corvette is probably what we're going to blow up the lasers first. Liberties are running the siege coils. We've got 5 Liberties. So I think we'll do 2. 2. A little bit less to the last one. The Indefatigables are the ones running the lasers. I'm going to keep control of those and try to blap targets one at a time. Also, set heading to target you're actively firing at. That should keep the main gun pointed at the desired target. Let's bring him in a little bit closer. Enemy fleet has not yet taken invasive maneuvers. Okay, rounds out. First ship about to cross the laser threshold. There goes the laser, starting to tear the first one up. Hopefully it will prove effective. They've destroyed a ship. We are taking damage in such a defensive posture. Cruisers are now starting to receive hits. Okay, the heavier line enemy ships have pretty much suffered being reduced to ineffectiveness, although I suspect one of ours has suffered the same fate. Yeah, bring that one down, it's very close. Send those over to the AI. Oops. Didn't mean to hand everything over to the AI. Those are still handed over, that's fine. Okay, we took 1 casualty. Isn't too bad, all things considered. So this is one situation where maybe having some plasmas, because their monitors are not the least defended ships in the enemy fleet, apparently. Oh, we lost another casualty. So this would be one reason to run EUV. And yeah, run UV, run plasma. That's why we're researching UV at this point. Oh, and the siege coils are out of rounds at this point. Okay. Okay, suffered another casualty. Oh, though this time those were amongst one of the indefatigables. Okay, one of the enemy ships was able to escape. I've let the AI take over control of the ships. It's apparently decided we need to move up, which is probably not the wrong choice. Okay. So, some aliens escaped, we held the field. We took probably more casualties than I would have desired. We suffered 2 destroyed. Bunch of damage. Maybe one of our fleets actually disengaged. That's probably one of our ships maybe disengaged. Is that another fleet coming to... No, I think that was the fleet we just dealt with. There we go. So needless to say, you need to repair. It's resupplying first, which is fine. Available for operations? Okay.
Offering assistance.
Yeah, do a repair order. 18 days. Oh, actually, cancel the current operation. How long is it going to take you to get up to medium Earth orbit? You'll repair quicker up there. 3.7 hours. Okay, go up there. And this is a repair. So, yeah, the greater number of docks is helping to repair quicker. There we go. So, the 7 surviving ships have managed to undergo the repairs. They'll resupply reasonably quickly. We managed to give the aliens a decently bloody nose with that fight. Did not go quite as well as I would want. That is highlighting a potential weakness in the current ship design. Which is, I had not accounted for the... I think it's the Liberties in particular. Did not account for the Liberties potentially running out of ammo. And this is the ones that each coil is. So, utility module, we probably want to give them a magazine. At least one. Probably go all the way and give them 2. And then, of course, that applies to the flagship. Even to the flagship, can only stick the one on it, which will be fine. And of course, all for the moment, this is all very moot because we're
We've moved the
we've got
needle.
things in the queue already. So we're not replacing our casualties for any quick time at the moment.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
At least, I was about to say, at least the Mercury one's under construction. It's got 1, 2, about to complete. Fourth to last. Okay, fourth to last is in the queue. No, we're not starting new wars.
Target destroyed.
Go ahead and repeat. Take me there. Density's still heavy, so keep going. Actually dealt with that one. That's good. Romeo 260 is ready for action again. I don't want to merge 260 and 300. We'll probably try to respond with 260 first next time. Either that, we'll send 260 after the surveillance fleet. See, our advisor here is saying Russia may be a good target. It's like, yep, we've been trying to prep them for that. They might not quite be ready yet. Oh no, they've come off Crackdown. They've come off a Crackdown, yeah.
Targeting their center
time.
of power.
I'm here.
We'll take the national industries, or no, we want to hit the security apparatus.
Terminating the opposition.
They're probably just going to
Standing
immediately
Turning up the
immediately
heat.
national defend it again, but we'll see. We still have stuff being built there, but that's probably fine. Okay, funding-wise, apparently our funding or our revenue has gone up quite a bit. Probably due to the loss of expensive ships. Possibly. Not immediately assuming that's the sole source of that. Let's still invest some of our influence into funding. That helps quite a bit. Democracy in America is improving. We're up to 8.9. Well, 8.869. And we're almost at 8.8. Once we get them up to 10, government will drop off. That is also, in theory, helping us with stabilizing the cohesion. At the cost of not being able to use the military to riddle unrest, but we're not doing that anyway. In fact, we have the American army in Mexico to lower the Mexican unrest.
I will help them.
I'm not interested in baby steps. Our enemy isn't going to wait for us to catch up. What I want from you is the most devastating force you can possibly imagine, placed in the hands of our soldiers today. Colonel Hans Castillo, Weapons Facility Inspection.
Hans likes those weapons, yeah. And arguably that's the argument with why we're using Poseidon and the Orion drives. They're quick, they're easy, they're not in the long run as good as the fusion drives or the antimatter drives because of their very high radioactives cost, but you can get them sooner, and we have them now. But yeah, heavy pulse propulsion, so we can go from the normal Orion to using the H-bombs.
The people will come to our side.
Public sentiment is increasingly with us.
We have hit them where it
Purge
hurts.
has hit. Or Crackdown has hit, which means the Purge that follows up almost certainly will. Flare drives. I don't think I'm going to bother with flare drives. I'm not going to honestly.
The LZ is secure.
Repeat. Take
Prep
me
for
there.
next mission.
Are we down to... We are down to light. Okay, so we'll move you on to a different target.
Our people have taken control.
Our people have taken control. Actually, do space defenses. No navy, no military. Do mission control. Surprise! Mission controls cannot camped out here. Don't bother boost. Russia is fairly far north. Funding is good. Don't care about government. In fact, I'd probably at this point want the government to go down, not up. Don't care about the economy. There we go. Let's try that. Pakistan has, I think it's third regional defense. Yeah, one more to go, and Pakistan will be fortified against bombardment. I think the last one's the most expensive one, to be fair, because it's based on the size of the region. I think we've hit all the small regions first. Wait, yeah, we hit all the small ones first. The Baluchistan area of Pakistan is big and fairly unpopulated. I think there's a desert mountain range that runs through here. From my times playing as the Timurids and/or the Mongols, I have some idea of the geography around here. Maybe not the most accurate, but some idea. Okay. So now that we've got the security apparatus, we have bonuses to Crackdown. Yeah, they're not going to stop us from taking the rest of this anytime soon. Coup d'etat or oligarchs. We'll go for the oligarchs. Crackdown and purge.
Standing by for orders.
55%. We almost don't even need the crackdown at that point. We're going to keep doing the crackdown anyway. You're going to keep dealing with alien assets, working worst to best in nations that we care about. So, Kunming in China.
Taking it to them.
So that could be Kunming, not Kunming. And I'm putting a space in there because I speak English, and blurring those words too, because they make a very interesting word. Parasite emitters coming soon. Sounds good. So you're the quick, not this one. So you need 20, you don't have 20. I don't have the money coming in my ears yet to start grabbing these improvements. We're definitely seeing our revenue come up, so I may be tempted to do that soon. And I suppose if we take more of this over, are they still running spoils? No, they're not running spoils in Russia. I was about to say, if they're running spoils in Russia, we can benefit from that. Inequality here is coming down. It's going to take forever, because it always takes forever. But that will help with the cohesion. We want to get cohesion up to 5. At least up to 5. Work on space defenses there, okay. I probably don't need to bother with space defenses. I'm
Offering counsel.
doing it because I can, not because I should. There goes the space construction. 2 more warships in Mercury orbit we want to get in the queue. We have completed the Parasite emitter. Wait, which is another augment. We'll go look at what that one does in a moment. I wouldn't be surprised if I need EMC before I can get the upgrade for the alien one. It is a 50. It's a 500. It's a real cheap, quick one. Let's grab that one. It'll be done in days. Literal days. So there's the Parasite emitter. It's not a tier 1, tier 2, to 3 like the cybernetic improvements. It's just straight to tier 3. Apparently gives Inspire and Turn Counselor. So the orgs that I was like, oh, I really need an Inspire org, we don't need that anymore. But +3 Persuasion, real nice. 5k up front, less nice. Oops. Don't hit spacebar. Probably spacebar S. Spacebar something does that. Research and spacecraft defenses sabotage. Okay. That's one reason I do the espionage up on all the
Public
characters, so
sentiment
they're
is
less likely to
increasing
know where
with
we
us.
are.
Crackdown complete.
Crackdown complete.
The people
Here
will
comes
come
spot
to
number
our
2.
side.
Alien station detected at Earth Luna 4. That is a station we do not want to hang around. It is under construction. It does have a fleet protecting it. That's a fleet protecting it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fleet. They don't want me just rocking up there and blowing it up, do they? We're gonna at least wait until the month ends. There's our ECM. Oh, that's oppression. Probably not in rush for that. That's more oppression, okay. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. Want to see what I've got on the other spots. Okay, so we don't have a society tank, so a society tank would make sense to put in. Soft power is tempting. Heals to hope messaging is tempting. Yeah, let's do appeals to hope messaging. That's the alien station. Did the fleet leave? No, it's still there.
By the numbers.
Some ships left from it, so it's a slightly smaller fleet. We do probably want to engage the station before. Okay, so they're engaging Idis Plantina. So it is now time to expend Romeo 255, dealing with those orbiting those people. Engage. I'm not going to auto-resolve. We're going to fight this battle. We're going to want to deal with that station before it's get complete. Mainly because I don't want to deal with the station defenses. Ship is maneuvering to avoid a mental collision. Okay, well, I don't really care much about that. We're facing 1 battlecruiser, 1 cruiser, 1 destroyer, 1 monitor, 1 frigate, 1 corvette, and 2 corvettes. So it's a pretty eclectic group there. The smaller ships I'm probably going to task 1 set of torpedoes, and the bigger ones are probably going to get a few. Or maybe I do want to do the other way around. The torpedoes are... If we had missiles, we definitely do less against the bigger ones. 7 ships, we got 12, if memory serves. Okay, so let's do 2 a target, except for the smallest ones. Yeah, may come back to kick me in the keister, but we'll try. And honestly, really the goal here is to give this fleet a bloody nose so they go home. If we lose our, frankly, obsolete fleet in doing it, that's fine. This is the fleet that I think will probably get scrapped once the fleet under construction at the Mars dock is complete. Torpedoes away, at least across some of the ships. We got contact. First ship destroyed. We're receiving contact of our own. Probably gonna lose a ship. 2 ships destroyed. 3 ships destroyed. 1 of ours destroyed. Any remaining tubes? All tubes appear empty. So what we've got outbound is what we got. Looks like 2 of the enemy ships have been hit, but otherwise have survived. So these are the ones I wanted to put more against, because this is actually what I was worried about, was the point defense would be sufficient to stop the incoming, and it was. Alien fleet now just has the ability to run our ships down. We'll tell them to carry out a full burn and attempt to outrun the alien fleet. They are unlikely to successfully disengage. So I think this is mostly plasma and lasers coming in. Actually, that's probably... no, that's alien kinetics. Hard to tell sometimes with the colors. That looks awfully plasma to me, but I think that's actually kinetics. Yeah, and these guys don't have any point defense. So you give them a bloody nose. I'm actually just going to smack the auto-resolve here, because I think the result is, yes, we're going to lose more ships. Back to bombarding. Presumably back to bombarding.
Our associates were unable to take control.
You failed to purge. I had you set to the wrong purge, that's why. That's why, that makes sense. Fleet launches for low Earth orbit. That looks like an oddly transport-shaped ship. Though it wasn't giving me a warning that that was a carrier landing ship. Usually does for the first ship. You leaving? Shimmering Fortress, Shimmering Fortress. Okay, so those are going for the space station they've got. Not actually coming to Earth. Earth. Okay. So that's why I want to have Earth selected here. It's not giving me tracers for them. Oh, these guys are actually leaving. No, they're not coming back. Okay. Thought we had someone designated to go to Earth, but okay. How's the... oh, it's Lagrange Point Station? Yeah, it's Lagrange Point Station. Fleets are still there. Yeah, the fleet's still there. Oh, looking at the time, this is where we're going to go ahead and put a part break in. We've had successes. We've had failures. We're taking in attrition, and more is being built. I think because of that engagement, we did manage to stop them from blowing our station up. There's still probably a damaged station there. In fact, if there's a damaged station there, I should probably queue up the repairs. We got only 2 down in Mercury to finish queuing, or finish getting in the construction queue actually being built. Probably as soon as those are done, we'll probably be saving up to build the last 4 out in Mars. This fleet should probably hold up much better than the last one. It may still also have ammunition issues, but the laser bits will perform better. And then we get to the Habs. Again, I think it's one of the Martian ones that was damaged. Don't really care about our stuff. Although I suppose they weren't bombarding for very long, so maybe they didn't get anything yet. Nope, I think that's the one that's under Warner. If I already guess. There's a lot of broken modules there. Oh, this one really got bombardment as well. I probably didn't fix it, so let's get that queued for fixing. Oops. Okay. So this is where we're going to go and leave. If you're watching on
Ready for
YouTube,
orders.
there will be a part up tomorrow. I started this recording session later than I had hoped. I had originally been hoping to record 5 tonight. I think we're only going to record 4. So the day after the last XCOM one, I was originally going to put in Terra Invicta there because XCOM finished early. I think we'll probably have to just start Humankind a day earlier. We'll try to do a 5-part recording for the first Humankind stream then, which is Monday. So it's not tomorrow night, but it's the night after next. For those of you watching on Twitch, so this will be a 4-part stream. Still going to record 3 more parts, so if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. If you're watching on YouTube, there should be a part up every day going forward, is the plan. Originally the plan was going to have 1 day to have 2. I'm saying we don't have the time to do that. So with that, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.